It's Friday, December 15th, 2023, and this is the Talk Film Society podcast. I am your host, Marcelo Pico, editor-in-chief of Talk Film Society, here on another episode of our new awards season 2023 series with my co-host for this. It's Siobhan Irving. Hello, Siobhan.
Let's go.
Let's go.
To the Oscars, everybody.
It's the Oscars.
And to the other award shows, the Gotham Awards.
The Indie Spirit Awards.
The
SAGs.
Golden Globes. SAG.
VGAs. BAFTAs. We're going to be baffled by the BAFTAs this year.
The New York Film Critics Association.
LA Film Critics Association.
People's Choice. Come on, that's the most important.
Critics' Choice.
We're going to talk about how the People's Choice was upended later this episode.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I actually don't know.
Our topic for the episode.
Really?
JFK.
Really? I was going to make it.
The People's Choice was taken away from him.
Oh, really?
The people voted him into power.
Oh,
and they had their leader taken away under a coup d'etat.
Let's save that for
by
later.
The CIA.
Okay,
and the FBI.
Wait a second. Hold on, Oliver Stone. Wait a second. I gotta take control of this episode.
Come on now.
Now,
open your eyes, Marcelo. You saw the film.
This week we're focusing on the best film editing of 2023, and also we saw the film that won the best film editing award. In 1991, JFK, Best Film Editing winner at the Oscars. We saw the movie. We'll talk about it later. We'll really get into it, okay? But first, who are we? That's on my notes here. We've got to introduce ourselves yet again. Who are we? I'm Marcelo Pico. I love film. Siobhan, who are you?
I am Siobhan. I love film.
Okay, we both love film. All right, moving on.
Yeah, we're old podcasting friends.
Yeah, we are. I mean, podcasting friends means only when the mics are on are we friends. Other than that,
yes.
I just pretend not to know you. We're
here to talk about the awards.
That's it.
I don't necessarily care how it relates to Marcelo's experience. I just want
as a human.
I just can't do this alone.
No, we can't do this alone. No. I mean, I can try to do it alone. Like, imagine if I just recorded an episode by myself. Just
without telling me.
Without telling you.
Hey, why haven't we done Best Visual Effects yet?
What's that?
Hey, why haven't we done Best Actor yet, Marcelo? I already did.
Oh, I did that. I recorded that 2 months ago. And it's coming out Friday, so... No. I you know, if anything, I'm going to tell you this on mic, Siobhan. If anything, if for some reason... you have to bow out a week. I'll find a guest host, but only with the approval of you. Okay, I'm not gonna do anything sly or sneaky and like record an episode behind your back. You know,
I get to vet this host as well.
You get to vet the host, is what I'm saying.
Great.
No Siobhan unapproved guest hosts on this show. Okay,
fantastic.
You hear that, Matt Curione? You're not gonna be on this unless Siobhan says, "Hey, Matt's cool."
You're under notice.
You're on notice, Matt Curione, and I know you don't listen to this. I'm kidding around. He's great. Okay, that's who we are. Segment done. You got a glimpse of who we are through that back and forth. You know, sort of like just to prove we're human, just to prove we're not AI. These are all coming from two human mouths. All right, next segment, the news.
Yeah, we got a glimpse at us like the people on the lawn.
All right.
A glimpse at the people shooting from behind the fence.
All right. Let's move on. Let's just save that for 20 minutes into the episode. Okay. The Golden Globes nominations. Actually, that happened this morning. We're recording Monday, the 11th of December. I don't want to go to that yet. The LA Film Critics Awards. That happened. Just yesterday.
We also have other stuff.
Yeah.
Are you setting it up top, or are we going into the LA thing?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do the LA thing first. We'll get into the Goldies here in a second. But real quick, the LA Film Critics Awards. And by the way, I should have mentioned this in the Who Are We segment of the show. If this is your first episode, this is an instructional tool. Yeah, this is an instructional tool. This is for education purposes only. Use our critical analysis to further improve your Oscar pool chances. Okay.
Yes, Marcelo is an expert Oscar pool winner. He has won every single Talk Film Society one there is for the last 8-9 years.
That's you're way off on the years there. I think we've only done it 4 times, and
4 years.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, it's a small pool of people.
Come on, you guys are losers.
Anyway, I don't know. I've done well. I'm not gonna say I'm the best. I'm doing this too to also improve my chances. I could be shit next year, for the Oscars in March of 2023. You know, I could lose for the first time.
2024, of course.
No. I'm saying. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I forgot what year it was for the Oscars for 2023, which take place in March 2024. I could lose. Okay, so I'm doing all this,
and I hope you do.
I hope you beat me. Okay,
I hope so too.
Here's what I want. All seriousness, Siobhan, I want you to take all this information we expel here on the show. Take all the information that we say here, use it against me, against your co-host, and beat me in the Oscar pool.
See, I could be more analytical about things, but I give way to my gut too often, I think is my problem.
That's the thing.
Or to my brain or heart or whatever.
Lesson number 1, remove your heart from the equation. That's what I always do when I pick my picks. And usually I'm right. Usually I'm like, okay, what's not my favorite? What is going to be the awards' favorites?
The Oscars are a heartless event.
Exactly. That's lesson number 1. The Oscars have no heart. Okay. Do the LA film critics have heart?
We'll see.
Okay. There are a few of these. Do we want to go through all of them? I don't want to.
The big ones.
Let's go through the big ones. Best animated film, or best animation, as they say. The Boy and the Heron. Runner-up, Robot Dreams. Have you heard of Robot Dreams, Siobhan?
No.
I've barely heard of it. Only like the last few weeks. It's a Neon release, and apparently it's good. I do not know where it is. I do not know where it lives. I do not know if it's going to be released near me. I just know Robot Dreams is supposed to be good. So that might be a nominee for the Oscars. Boy and the Heron, you famously said last episode you refused to see it.
Boy and the... I don't refuse. I think it's just not going to happen. I'm being realistic.
Okay, fair. Hopefully it gets a VOD release.
Big hit at the BO.
Box office, yeah. Thanks for bringing that up, Siobhan. This is why you're here. This is why I can't do this alone. Number 1 at the box office, The Boy and the Heron. That is news. Okay, that's big. When's the last time that's happened?
Miyazaki number 1.
Yeah, it's never happened before.
Highest grossing Miyazaki already, probably.
Yeah. And also number 3 at the box office, Godzilla -1, which is wild. And also Godzilla -1, independent Japanese production, Toho. So 2 Japanese films in the top 3 at the box office.
I think 2. Yeah. Wow. Wild.
I think number 2 is Hunger Games, the Hummingbird and the Butterfly, or whatever that's called. By the way, I did see that. I don't think I talked about it on this show.
You didn't tell me.
No, I didn't like it. All right, moving on.
Okay.
Let's see. Best foreign language film, according to the LA Film Critics, Anatomy of a Fall. Good. Best music score, The Zone of Interest, which has been picking up acclaim as it goes through the season.
I'm really excited to see it.
I need to see it. I'm desperate to see it. My girlfriend and former guest of this show, Elise, she saw it early. She saw it before me. And she thought it was amazing, yet haunting, horrifying. I'm sure she'd be okay with me saying this. She could not sleep that night after she saw The Zone of Interest.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, she might be a guest on the show to talk about it. We'll see. She might do a call-in. I'll talk to her about it.
Her bed just wasn't comfy, or...
Yeah, she forgot to tell me that she didn't have a mattress that night. So she just slept on the floor. So it was a coincidence. Best production design, Barbie. Hey.
I agree.
Yeah. And also, hey. Oh, hold on. I'll get to that one in a second. Best cinematography, Poor Things. Poor Things? More like things I'll talk about in the next segment when we talk about the things we've watched. I watched that, so I'll talk about it later.
Marcelo saw Poor Things.
Yeah. By the way, runner-up, Barbie and Killers of the Flower Moon, both shot by Rodrigo Prieto. I mean,
that man almost took home 2 awards, but he failed both times.
Yeah, and then Robbie Ryan won for Poor Things. So take that, Rodrigo Prieto.
It takes 2 Rodrigo Prietos to make 1 Robbie Ryan.
According to the LA Film Critics. Best screenplay. This is just a combination. This includes adapted and original. All of Us Strangers, which... remember last episode, Siobhan, you were like, oh, it doesn't make sense that Oppenheimer and like Killers of the Flower Moon were in the lead because you thought, oh, a December movie might jump in and become the Best Picture winner.
That's just usually what happens in my eyes.
It could be.
Brain. I don't know. That's not going to... an Andrew Haig film is not going to pop in and start beating everything.
But this is a December movie that is seemingly, for me, kind of coming out of nowhere. It's a late December release. I mean, sure, the critics have seen it. It was a festival darling, but it's not coming out in theaters until late December. And I don't know, sure. It's a Searchlight movie. It's got the pedigree. Andrew, who is it? I'm sure he's on this list.
I say Haig. I'm not sure if that's exactly right.
Andrew Scott, the lead, is getting noticed. But anyway, keep an eye on...
Paul Mescal is in that?
Yeah,
right?
Paul Mescal, yeah. And Andrew Scott are getting attention. But yeah, All of Us Strangers might be, creeping in, and who knows? It might get the Best Picture award. Don't rule anything out at this point, Siobhan, is what I'm saying.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. I was going to make a joke. I'll probably cut this out. Anything can happen, including Paul Giamatti going on a shooting spree. Anything can happen. Supporting performances.
Is that what happens in that movie?
No, I'm just saying in real life, Paul Giamatti could go on a shooting spree, and that could significantly, change his, ruin his chances of getting an Oscar this year.
That hurt them for sure.
Supporting performances. Rachel McAdams in Are You There? It's Me, God. Oh, yeah, no, sorry.
Are You There? It's Me, God, Chelsea.
I'm gonna take that again. Supporting performances. Rachel McAdams in Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And I guess this is a tie. It's either Divine, which I think is wrong, or Devane, Joy Randolph in The Holdovers, which we've talked about last episode. She's the front runner in a lot of people's books. So that's good to see her again here. I think she's great in the movie. We've talked about The Holdovers last episode. Don't need to redo that conversation again, but Siobhan's not going to see it. And
it'll be holding over through this award season, we both thought.
Yeah. By the way, runners up. This might be controversial. Well, not controversial. Ryan Gosling is a runner-up from Barbie, and also Lily Gladstone. They put in a runner-up as a supporting performance.
Is it just ungendered performance?
Yeah, it's ungendered. Yeah, so everybody is up for supporting performance. But the controversy here, in my book anyway, is Lily Gladstone in supporting. She's running for the lead performance or the lead actress category. Okay, lead performance wins Sandra Huller. I don't know how to pronounce her name, sorry. From Anatomy of a Fall and The Zone of Interest. And also Emma Stone from Poor Things. So they both won. A lot of ties in this. Come on, LA Film Critics.
So she won for 2 movies, plus Emma Stone won?
Sandra Huller won for Anatomy of a Fall and Zone of Interest, and Emma Stone just won for Poor Things. So that's 3 movies winning.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's LA, okay? They can do whatever
They
the
do
hell
things
they want.
differently down there.
They do things different. And best director,
Holly weird, right?
Hey, that's what I've been saying for years. They got the clowns in Congress, and they got the weirdos in LA. Best director.
No, they got the weirdos in Austin, where you live.
Oh yeah. Well, they want to keep things weird. We're lacking weirdos here. Weirdos wanted is what the motto should be here in Austin. Best director, best picture, Zone of Interest. So Zone of Interest wins big at the LA Film Critics Association Awards. And going back to the topic of today, best editing, the winner here was Anatomy of a Fall. That won the best editing award. All right, so those are the LA Film Critics. Any thoughts?
Runner up in the editing category.
Oh, runner up. Okay,
it's the topic of the episode.
I know. I'm sorry. I moved away from the page, and now the page is.
What was best picture?
The Zone of Interest. I said director
right.
and picture went to Zone of Interest. So Jonathan Glazer, director. Picture was Zone of Interest. The runner-up for best editing at the LA Critics Awards. All of Us Strangers.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, look out for those. Thank you, LA Film Critics Association, for letting us read those.
Thank you.
Thank you, LA. Thank you to the Hollywood Foreign Press Association for letting us read the nominations for the Golden Globes.
Yeah. And by the way, yeah, I guess the Golden Globes have changed their ways. They've removed a lot of people. They
got rid of the bad apples.
I'm sure. And hey, as we know with history, when that happens, after that it's always smooth sailing, right?
Yeah. Last year we refused to cover the Golden Globes whatsoever on this award season show. But this year we have lost all of our morals. We don't care. We want to talk more Goldens, more Golden Awards.
Yeah. And also they're moving the telecast. I think it's going to be on CBS this year. It was on NBC for the longest time.
That'll change things up.
Yeah. At least I read that somewhere. That may not be true, but
This is really going to kick them into shape.
Sorry, it says right here, the ceremony will take place on January 7th, and will be broadcast live on CBS. All right, let's go through the nominees for the GGs this year. I scrolled all the way to the bottom. Here we go. The Cinematic and Box Office Achievement nominees.
What?
Yes, there's a category called Cinematic and Box Office Achievement.
This wasn't a joke? Somebody posted that in the Talk Film Society Discord, talkfilmsociety.com/Discord. I thought that was a joke.
No, this is very serious. This is on Variety's breakdown of the nominees. I'm very serious. The nominees for Cinematic and Box Office Achievement are Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour, The Super Mario Brothers Movie, Spider-Man Across the Universe, Oppenheimer, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, John Wick Chapter 4, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and Barbie.
So just removing all pretense, like just behind the curtain, what this is all about. Yeah, that's great. That's just like when the Oscars tried to do the fan favorite moment or whatever and gave actual Oscars to Justice League for entering the Speed Force.
Now, my question is, and I'm not going to look into this, are these the for one, Dead Reckoning Part 1, people were saying it was a bomb or it didn't make enough money. Like, that's what I kept reading in the trades.
Well, you got to think of the other half, Marcelo, the cinematic achievement.
What does that even mean? Cinematic and box office achievement. What? So if we're going by box office achievement, it'd be Barbie because it's the #1 movie of the year.
Yeah. And then Oppenheimer.
And then I guess Oppenheimer. I don't want to look into the chart. I don't want to. Whatever.
Guardians.
I guess is up there. Taylor Swift made a good amount of money, but I don't think it was like a top 10 hit of the year.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is weird. It's a weird category, but it's what you said, Siobhan. It's just they're trying to just be more populist here.
Yeah.
Whatever. Best motion picture animated. The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Spider-Man Across the Universe, Super Mario Brothers movie, Suzumi? How do you say that? Suzumi? And Wish.
It seems like the top three there are Boy and the Heron, Spider-Verse, and Mario, I think.
Oh, the top three, what, you mean like contenders?
Contenders, yeah. Like the other two aren't. Or three, but but it feels like those three are the ones that like have chances. I wonder how Mario does, honestly.
I don't think Mario will get. It'll probably, if you were to rank this, and I haven't seen Elemental, but I've heard it's good. But number one, I'd say The Boy and the Heron. Number two, Spider-Man Across the Universe. And then number three, Elemental. Number four, Super Mario. I keep hearing Wish is terrible, and I'm not too sure about Suzumi because I can't pronounce it. But I have heard it's good. So let's not count that out. But I don't know. I think it's The Boy and the Heron and Spider-Man Across the Universe that are vying for that award.
I don't know. Probably realistically, Spider-Verse. I typically, Ghibli movies get nominated, but they don't typically win.
Sometimes they win. I think Miyazaki has won 2 so far.
Yeah, has he? And those are like ones he's directed, or Ghibli have won 2?
I think Miyazaki himself. Won, right? I think Miyazaki himself won. I can look that up. That's something worth looking up. Finally, something worth picking up my phone for.
It'd be weird and kind of fun if Mario got something. Maybe like Charlie Day, Best Supporting Actor.
Well, we'll talk more about what it could get later on. Let's keep moving. So, and by the way, Miyazaki has won 1 Oscar.
Okay, for Spirited Away, probably.
Spirited Away won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature.
Yeah, and he was the director of that.
Yeah. All right, so let's keep moving on. Hey, I literally just said we'll see what other categories Super Mario Brothers movie comes in at, and hey, here's one. Best Original Song.
The Mario song.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bowser sings to Mario or whatever. Yeah.
Peaches by Jack Black.
Peaches. Yeah.
And everybody else. So that got nominated.
That'd be great at the Oscars, being played in between like two, like civil rights songs.
Well, one of those civil rights songs is Road to Freedom from the movie Rustin by Lenny Kravitz. That's nominated here for Best Original Song, Golden Globes. She Came to Me from Addicted to Romance, a movie I don't know anything about. But hey, this is by Bruce Springsteen and Patty Scalafia.
Does he have his Oscar yet? He's got to go for the EGOT.
He does have an Oscar. He has an Oscar for the song from Philadelphia.
Oh, right.
And what else is nominated? 3 Barbie songs. 3
Barbies. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a
the
Billie Eilish one.
Yes.
And then 2 more.
I'm Just Ken.
Yeah.
Dance the Night by Dua Lipa.
Sure.
Okay. All right. All right. So that was the best original song. We gotta speed through this. I don't want this to be another 2.5 hour episode. By the way, I want to make this like
too bad, buddy.
Okay. Best Picture, Golden Globes nominees.
Just straight to Best Picture.
No. Sorry, non-English language. Just skip over 20 categories. Just go Best Picture.
Made sure to hit Best Original Song, though.
Non-English language Best Picture. Anatomy of a Fall, Fallen Leaves, Io Capitano. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. It's from Italy, so Io Capitano. Past Lives, Society of the Snow, The Zone of Interest, which I guess is weird because non-English language film, and here Zone of Interest, next to it says United Kingdom. And also next to Past Lives it says United States. Weird category.
Well, it's about a German soldier, right? So it's probably in German.
But Past Lives, which is a movie I love and I'm glad is getting awards nominations, it's set in mostly in America, and a lot of English is said, but sure, there are some foreign language scenes, but I don't know. Anyway, that's not for us to decide. Golden Globes are weird. Best Supporting Actress. Hey, we just did this last episode. Nominees: Emily Blunt, Oppenheimer; Danielle Brooks, Color Purple; Jodie Foster, Nyad. By the way, I wrote myself a note. Nyad. Yeah, I remember last episode I was like, hey, Nyad, the real life figure that this movie's based on, said some controversial things about trans athletes. She has since backed off of that and has corrected course. Just literally, I think the day before we recorded last week's episode. I mean, good for her. She's now saying, we must support all of them. Because before that, she said what you'd think she'd say when it comes to trans athletes in women's sports. But now she's like, oh no, I was wrong. Which is good for her.
People are mad at me.
Good for her, but also, it's Nyad is getting some awards attention, so may not want to, start some shit. So
don't want. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, my film could win. I take it back.
Yeah, but also good for her. Yeah, either way. Okay, come on. And by the way, this podcast also supports all of them. Just make that perfectly clear.
The people in Nyad.
Yes, the cast and crew of Nyad. Jodie Foster, Nyad, nominated. Julianne Moore, May December, nominated. Rosamund Pike, Saltburn, and Devane Joy Randolph in The Holdovers. Good list. Any thoughts on that list, Siobhan?
No.
All right, moving on. Best Supporting Actor. Now these aren't split because like the Golden Globe splits these into comedy and drama later on, but these supporting actor categories are just all all together. So Willem Dafoe, Poor Things; Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon; Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer; Ryan Gosling, Barbie; Charles Melton, May December; and Mark Ruffalo, Poor Things.
Mark Ruffalo
is good in Poor Things. I came out of Poor Things saying Willem Dafoe is better. I think Willem Dafoe, if anybody is going to win an award for Poor Things, it's going to be him.
Everybody always looks over Willem Dafoe.
They do. And I don't think anybody's ever said this, but Willem Dafoe more like Willem DeFriend.
He should be like racking up nominations left and right. He should be the male Meryl Streep.
He should. Honest to God, he should have like at least 2 Oscars. Yeah. Don't ask me for what movies. Florida Project,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, and Spider-Man. Spider-Man and The Florida Project. 2 Oscars. Done. Willem Dafoe. Best performance by an actor in a motion picture, musical, or comedy. Nicolas Cage, Dream Scenario; Timothée Chalamet, Wonka; Matt Damon, Air; Paul Giamatti, The Holdovers; Joaquin Phoenix, Beau is Afraid; and Jeffrey Wright, American Fiction.
Matt Damon, Air.
I mean, last episode we said, hey, Air. Where's that in the Oscar race, in the awards race this season? And lo and behold, here comes Air out of nowhere.
I ain't mad about it. But you know who I like more?
Who?
That famous friend of Matt Damon.
Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck.
But he's not the lead. I mean, we're talking lead performance.
Oh, you went through the supporting category already.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying Ben should have been in there in a supporting actor.
If anybody.
I see. Matt Damon.
If anybody should have been nominated, it should have been him.
Well, you also shouted out Viola Davis in Air.
I did.
But you don't want to give her the credit here?
No, it's not an awards-worthy performance.
It's okay. All right. I should like state on okay. I should state on record that Matt Damon in Air doesn't really.
He's good.
It doesn't do it for me. It's just
he's good. Yeah.
He's been interesting in other movies. He's been more interesting in The Last Duel.
Oh, he's way more interesting in The Last Duel. Are you kidding me?
The Martian, he's even more interesting in.
Sure.
But Matt Damon, Air, get out of here. we're not going to see eye to eye here, Siobhan. So let's move on. Okay?
It doesn't sound like we're that far off.
Best performance by an actress in comedy musical. Fantasia Barrino for The Color Purple. The Color Purple. It's hard to say for me.
Oh, is that the Fantasia, the singer?
Yeah, musical, Fantasia. Right? She's back. Yeah.
From American Idol.
Fantasia, she's back.
Wow.
Jennifer Lawrence, No Hard Feelings. Natalie Portman, May December. Alma Poyetsti from Fallen Leaves, a movie I also saw this past weekend. Good movie. I'm glad she got a nod here. Margot Robbie, Barbie. Emma Stone, Poor Things. Those are the lead actresses in musical or comedy.
It's hard for me to call Natalie Portman the lead of May December.
Which is, if your letterbox is to be believed, unless you're just lying about the movies you watched. Siobhan, you saw that recently, right? May December.
I did see May December recently, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later. I'd call them both supporting. It's hard to call one.
Yeah, well,
a lead.
I made this argument, or I brought it up last episode too. To me, they're both leads. Like it's a co-lead role. Leads? Yeah.
I think no leads. I think it's a 3 supporter movie.
How does that even work? You can't have no leads in a movie.
Sure you can.
Unless you're in a Robert Altman movie.
Exactly. It happens. It's possible.
I see your point though, but I sometimes I gotta go. Okay, fine. Your weird category placements. I'll follow the rules here.
Whatever. Ultimately, whatever. But
it's ultimately whatever. Exactly. This whole thing, ultimately, awards season 2023, whatever. Ultimately, who gives a shit about this stuff?
So, director next.
No, we got a few more to go. Best, unless I can skip all this and just go straight to director.
I can't think of anything else.
There are at least 4 more.
Really?
Yeah, best performance by an actor.
Best pictures.
Well, we got to go through the drama. Best performance by an actress in a drama.
This happened. Sorry.
Yeah, lead actress.
Oh yeah, May December's yeah, of course. I was laughing my ass off throughout that whole thing.
Yeah. Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon. Carey Mulligan, Maestro, or as Emma Stone would say, Maestro. Sandra Huller, Anatomy of a Fall. Annette Bening, Naiad. Greta Lee, Past Lives, and Kaylee Spaney, Priscilla. Lead actress drama. So Gladstone here is in the lead actress category.
How do you like that Priscilla? How do you like that lady that played Priscilla Presley?
She's very good. I might give her a shout out when we eventually do lead actress category. But it shows her life from, being a teenager. I think she was 15 when she met Elvis. So we see her from then through, I think, her late 20s, early 30s when she leaves Elvis. And she's phenomenal in conveying the adolescence through forced adulthood that's, placed on her. So I think she's great. But I'll talk more. But editor's note: just copy this and just paste it in the lead actress performance episode, which we'll do later. That's basically what I'm going to say. But yeah, okay. Also, Past Lives. Shout out to Greta Lee. I said it earlier. Past Lives. I love that movie. I'm glad it's getting attention. Okay. Best lead performance by an actor in a drama. Bradley Cooper, Maestro. Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer. Leonardo DiCaprio, Killers of the Flower Moon. Colman Domingo, Rustin. Andrew Scott, All of Us Strangers. And this is surprising to me, Barry Keoghan for Saltburn.
Cillian and Barry.
Yeah, finally together.
My boys. My Irish boys.
In one category. Aren't you excited, Siobhan? Are you going to tune into the...
Goldies?
To the CBS telecast of the Golden Globes?
Damn if I might.
Should we do a live commentary?
Should we do a live commentary?
A live commentary of the Golden Globes?
Would I do it? Yeah. Should we do it?
No.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry I put that out there into the universe. Now we have to do it. Screenplay. Barbie, Poor Things, Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Past Lives, Anatomy of a Fall. Anything pop out there for you, Siobhan?
Not at all. You went through them too fast.
Okay, let's move on. Best Director: Bradley Cooper, Maestro. Greta Gerwig, Barbie. Wow. Yorgos Lanthimos, Poor Things. Chris Nolan, Oppenheimer. Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon. And hey, Celine Song, Past Lives.
Bradley Cooper, interesting.
It is interesting.
I am definitely fascinated by Maestro. I'm not I love Once Upon a Time, the two people fell in love. I can't think of the name of the movie, actually. Born a Star. A Star is Born. I loved Born a Star. It's literally one of my favorite movies. And so, like, I'm curious. I'll watch it, but I'm not super excited. But, like, he brought a lot of fantastic, interesting directorial choices into Born a Star. And I believe he could do it again.
Fingers crossed.
In Maestro. Is Maestro in black and white?
Half and half. There's some black and white. There's some colored. Now, this is playing in town here in Austin. I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to see it this week. I don't know for how long it's going to run for. I hate Netflix. It's a Netflix movie, by the way. Maestro, if you don't know. I guess I'll be like one of the fucking normies and watch this at home if it comes on Netflix, and I haven't seen it by then. So, Maestro, I'll begrudgingly see it at home, I guess. That's my review. All right, you ready for the best pictures, Siobhan?
The big ones.
All right, best picture, comedy or musical: Barbie, Poor Things, American Fiction, The Holdovers, May December, and Air.
Wow.
The little movie that could. It's Air. That's the big surprise for me here.
The little movie that aired.
The little Amazon movie that came out in the summer and stole the hearts and minds of America.
Directed by a man that has won Best Picture before. Probably multiple times.
How can they make a movie of shoes, is what people said.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
How can they turn shoes into an art?
I was expecting to walk in there and just see 2 hours of just shoes being animated on screen. With like
I thought it was an animated movie.
Yeah, just about shoes.
Until like halfway through, and I was like, "Wait, these people look so too real. This can't be right." And then I looked it up, and I'll be damned.
Best
it wasn't
motion picture drama:
Super Mario Bros. Movie,
Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Past Lives, The Zone of Interest, and Anatomy of a Fall.
Wow.
What do we think about the GGs?
I don't care.
You don't care? All right,
that was all very boring to me. Like I
nothing excites you. Nothing
nothing
gets your goat.
There was nothing that I was like, "Oh, yes." Nothing.
Well, it should be noted you have yet to see
99% of the films.
I really want you one day to see Oppenheimer, because I think it's a good movie. And sorry to say to some people, but it's stuck in my head, Oppenheimer, and I need to rewatch it here at home, and it may creep up on my list, and I may be rooting for it to win Best Film, Best Picture at the Oscars. Again, I apologize to people who have told, "Oh, yeah, Oppenheimer's fine. It's fine. It's not my pick," because I may have to change course. I think it might deserve the big boy.
You did some research and you found out that stuff was all real.
I was like, okay, fine. This is just like Inception. Chris Nolan, he writes a good story, Pretty unbelievable, though, that America could just build one of the most destructive weapons of all time that kills hundreds of thousands of people, at once. No way. And then I open up my history book and I go, wait a second. Oppenheimer. Yeah. Watch Oppenheimer is what I'm trying to say, Siobhan. Okay. All right.
So I don't need to be told to watch Oppenheimer. If I get the opportunity, I'm going to watch it.
Okay.
I promise you.
And then maybe you'll change your tune there and get excited about this season.
Well, look, I'm excited. I think it's cool that Christopher Nolan has a serious chance this year, more serious than he has in his career, at least since Interstellar. And I am over the moon excited that Cillian Murphy is likely to win Best Actor. I think that's cool as shit. I love the man.
Yeah, he's in the running. Top pick for some people. For me,
was Emily Blunt nominated in the Best Supporting?
I already closed the thing. Right. But she was actually. I if I remember correctly, she was nominated for the Golden Globe for Best Supporting. Yes,
and she's married to John Krasinski, so that's cool. Who plays a member of the CIA in a show?
Yeah.
And we're about to talk about the CIA here.
After this segment, because we're going to quickly talk about what we've watched.
Oh, my bad. What have I watched, you say?
Yeah, hey, Siobhan, what have you been watching over there?
What have I been watching over here? I watched a movie we'll be talking about in a bit.
So shut up your mouth and talk about something else.
And then the other movie that I watched this week, the one other movie, was May December.
Hey!
Wow. Oscars contender. Discussed about last week. Marcelo nominated or gave Julianne Moore one of his favorite supporting performances of the
Number
year.
one supporting performance of the year in my book.
She was your number one.
Actress, yeah. Julianne Moore.
Wow. I liked her too. But yeah, the film's really good. I don't know. I haven't super jived with Todd Haynes in the past. This one I did more than most. And a good movie.
Good movie.
It's kind of cool.
Now, one thing I mentioned last episode is people are going to shit their pants when they wake up Monday morning and realize that Netflix put May December in the comedy category at the Golden Globes. Now, how hard did you laugh watching May December, Siobhan?
Oh, I was buckled over. I was buckled over, crying my eyes out, laughing.
Better than No Hard Feelings. Better than Stray Dogs. That one
Any
movie.
comedy of the last 20 years.
Yeah. Move Over, Knocked Up, May December.
Yeah, Knocked Up's another one I put on if I just want to fucking laugh my ass off. Yeah. Best comedy since Knocked Up. Well, it's a funny movie. It is a funny movie.
It is. No, it is. It is funny.
There are a lot of comedic moments in it. A lot of dark humor in it. But is it a comedy movie at its core? I question that, and I ultimately come to the answer of no. But it is very funny.
It is very funny.
Saying very is weird, but it's lightly funny often.
Yeah, it's. I'll say it's very funny at rare times in the movie. It's not like the humor carries throughout the whole thing because it becomes an immensely serious, heavy movie at times. But then it becomes also very questionable in what you're watching. Like what's happening here? There's a lot of feelings, going around in that movie.
Yeah, it is a complex movie.
Complex is a good word.
It's not any one thing, I don't think.
Right. Which
Todd Haynes makes it flow and ebb and flow in a really interesting way. It does bounce around a lot.
Let me ask you this before we move on, because I'm sure we'll talk about this movie from our perspectives in the weeks to come. But what'd you think of Charles Melton in the role that he plays?
He was the husband.
Yes, he was the husband.
I loved him, honestly.
Yeah.
Of the three performances, he's the one I'd go to bat for the most.
Yeah.
His character is very tragic and interesting. They explore him very well, like what a person who went through that and is at a point in his life where he's barely older than his teenage kids, what he's going through. Like, it's really complex and cool. Like I do like it a lot.
Yeah, it's a heartbreaking performance, but also, again, it's like tragically funny at times.
Yes, it is. It very much is.
There's a scene, and this is not a spoiler, and also go watch the movie. It's on Netflix if you have Netflix. If you don't have Netflix, find another way to watch it. I don't care.
The one where he's smoking pot with his son.
Yeah, that scene. Roof. Yeah, it's eye-opening because it encapsulates how closed off this character is from life because of what happened to him.
Yeah.
And then that final scene where he confronts Julianne Moore, it's like that's also just a reminder of just how sinister this whole situation is, and it's brutal. But he's phenomenal. He's hey, spoiler alert! I'm gonna tip my hat. Here's another Marcelo tip of the hat moment. He's gonna be my number one supporting actor of the year.
He's got a good chance of being mine too.
Yeah,
the metaphor of the butterflies throughout.
Yeah. It's again. I think like some of it is like maybe on the nose is the right word.
It is on the nose.
Heavy-handed, but no, but it's well. Good. It's done well. Exactly. God. I like the movie a lot. May, December. I'm glad you watched it. Okay.
Happy to.
Is it my turn yet? Can I say one?
Please, anything you watched this week, Marcelo.
Okay.
What is it that you have been watching?
I watched one big contender, finally, crossed it off the list. I saw Poor Things.
Poor Things. Yorgos Lanthimos' Poor Things, nominated for Golden Globe for Best Comedy Film. Emma Stone, Best Comedic Actress. Best Director, Yorgos Lanthimos. What the fuck did you think of it?
I know everybody's been waiting on pins and needles for my reaction to this. I say it's good.
Okay, you say that. How's your reaction to past Yorgos Lanthimos work? Because I feel like you've generally dug them a lot. Like I seem to remember you liking The Favorite quite a bit.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull up Mr. Lanthimos's
got The Lobster
filmography. I'll tell you which ones I loved. So
Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Here we go. Let's go through them. The Lobster, loved it. So good. The Favorite, thought it was good. Not my favorite, though. The Killing of a Sacred Deer, this, I think, is still my favorite. He's done. I love it. I think about it every so often, about how fucked up the ending is. Holy shit. I love The Killing of a Sacred Deer. Dogtooth, it was a good entry point, I think, to his mindset. I think it's
honestly, that's something I might have needed, because when I saw The Favorite, I think I just did not understand anything that I was seeing.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't get like the bourgeoisie and all that shit, but like I just like his filmmaking style it felt so specific. That's still the only thing I've ever seen of his, and it kind of put me off.
I like The Favorite a lot, but to me, what screams more like his style is basically everything else he's done that I've seen. Like Dogtooth, Killing of a Sacred Deer, The Lobster, and now Poor Things. Well, Poor Things leans more towards The Favorite than his other work. So my recommendation to you, Siobhan, is seek out Killing of a Sacred Deer, Dogtooth, The Lobster. If those aren't your bag, then you're lost. Then you're not a Lanthimos fan. But I think you have potential. I think he is one of our best directors working today, and he proves that with the movie Poor Things. That's a good transition. It's weird. He's got the money now to just create this huge, wild, crazy world that Poor Things is set in, which is like kind of futuristic. It's like steampunk in a weird way, but in a good way. Like the production design is off the charts. Just so inventive. The creature design is inventive. The practical the practical effects are great. Like all those little details are excellent. Like he's at the top of his game with that stuff. The visual style, like all those wide angle lenses, the fisheye lenses in The Favorite, that's just 70% of Poor Things. It's just him doing that stuff again.
No.
Which, yeah, sure. If you didn't like it there, yeah, you're gonna get a lot more of that in Poor Things. So I like it. I do like that weird lens that he uses for those fisheye things. Anyway, beyond that, God, the characters in it are hilarious. I think they're as hilarious as anything he's done in like The Favorites or The Lobster. Killing of a Sacred Deer, not as funny as The Lobster or The Favorite, but anyway, Poor Things has this sort of sinister undertone that his other films have too. And last thing I'll say, because again, I think this will be another movie I'll talk about as the season progresses, but Emma Stone, amazing. Everybody's been saying she's the best of the year, she's amazing, her best work. I don't know, I still think maybe her best work for me is something else. Don't ask me what it is, because I'm not going to tell you. But she's still very good in Poor Things. She gives a hell of a performance. There's a lot going on there, without giving away too much, but she does the work. She deserves all the praise she's getting. So yeah, Poor Things is a huge recommend for me. So seek it out. Siobhan, whenever you can, folks listening, whenever you can, seek out Poor Things. It is one of the best of the year. The end.
Yeah, I think I'll try to watch something else of his first. I'm definitely not going to go straight to Poor Things. I think I'll try Killing, because it's got Barry Keoghan in it.
I think Killing of a Sacred Deer is on a lot of streaming services right now. Last I checked.
Yeah, it's on Netflix and Paramount.
Yeah, I'd say go for that and The Lobster, because I think The Lobster is also so damn good. Again, he's a good film director in my book.
Do you recommend either service to watch it on, Netflix or Paramount?
For Killing of a Sacred Deer?
Yeah,
I'd say watch it on Paramount. I don't know.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, I kind of like the Paramount streaming service more than Netflix. I couldn't tell you why. Maybe because Paramount is an actual movie studio, and Netflix pretends to be one.
Oh shit!
Anyway, that's my hot take for today. I want to get one hot take a day. All right, next up on the podcast, film editing. That's our main topic. We're an hour in. We finally got to the main topic.
Yes.
Let's wrap this up in 20 minutes. Here we go.
Excited to do it. Excited to. You should go to the editing board on this damn thing.
I will. I'll be a regular. Wait, I don't know who won.
Guy who won for
Guy
JFK.
who won for JFK. A thing we should know right off the bat.
Does Ollie edit his own films? I wouldn't be surprised.
No. I should be a Pietro Scalia and Joe Hutching and edit this episode like they did JFK. Those two people. Good for them for winning the...
Had a lot of suspenseful music under it.
All right, so let's go back, and we do this every episode now.
Let's go back to 1960 whatever.
And then let's flash forward to 1991 when JFK was released. The past is prologue, as the film tells us. JFK released in the year 1991. It was up for...
I think 63.
Yeah, you should know this. We should both know
Actually,
this.
yeah, that TV show I watched it. It's called 11/22/63, I think. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah. Good for you for remembering when JFK was shot. So Oliver Stone, it's an Oliver Stone picture, released December 20th, 1991. 8 Academy Award nominations, 2 wins, 1 for cinematography, 1 for best film editing.
Wow.
Let's go back to that ceremony real quick. Let's go through some of the categories. Do you have any of this information pulled up, Siobhan?
Nope.
Okay,
I know the other nominees in the best editing cat, but that's all I got.
So we're doing this every episode now. I'm going to quiz you. Best Picture, 1991. Okay. I'll give you a hint, or I'll just give you one. JFK was nominated for Best Picture, so that's one.
That was a hint?
Yeah, so...
For what one? Okay.
So now, can you guess what one or what other movies were nominated for Best Picture?
Philadelphia?
Nope, that's too late. That's 1993, I think. But you're thinking along the right tracks, though. I'll give you that hint.
The
Philadelphia.
English Patient?
No, that's like 95. No.
The Chariots of Fire?
No, that's too early. That's like the early 80s. Okay, again, think back to Philadelphia. That's a big hint.
Back to the year 1991.
You idiot. Think of Philadelphia.
Think back to Philadelphia. Okay, Philadelphia, cream cheese.
Who directed Philadelphia?
Who directed Philadelphia?
It's like pulling teeth.
Yeah. Silence of the Lambs.
Yes. Silence of the Lambs won Best Picture. You got it.
Wait, that was 91?
Yeah, that was 91.
That feels later to me.
I mean, technically, it won the award in 1992 in March, but yeah, it was released in 91. It won the Best Picture award. Fellow nominees: Beauty and the Beast, Bugsy, and The Prince of Tides. It was the Silence of the Lambs year. So Lambs got Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress. Jonathan Demme, Anthony Hopkins, Jodie Foster. Best Supporting Actor, hey, Jack Palance won for City Slickers. Best Supporting Actress, Mercedes Ruehl for The Fisher King. Thelma and Louise won for Best Original Screenplay. Silence of the Lambs won for Adapted Screenplay, and so on and so forth. I'll read through the nominations for JFK. JFK got nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Supporting Actor. Can you guess which supporting actor from JFK was nominated?
Best supporting actor? Donald Sutherland.
Nope.
Wow. Shit.
This one's kind of surprising because I would not...
Tommy Lee Jones?
Yeah. Lee Jones. Yeah. I don't know if I'd call Lee Jones the best supporting actor in this movie.
No, I would say Donald Sutherland. Or maybe like Michael Rooker or that other guy that I didn't recognize that is with him all the time.
There are so many great supporting actors. Tommy Lee Jones is one of them, I guess. Nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. Like I said, one for cinematography, one for editing. Nominated for Original Score by John Williams. And Best Sound. So there we go. Those are the bona fides for JFK. The movie itself. What do we think? I saw this years ago for the first time. Like I'd say 15 years ago. I thought it was a good movie. I saw it again over the course of 3 nights. Or 3 days, I should say. I didn't have time to sit down and watch all 3 hours. So I split this up. And came out of it today thinking, hey, this movie's pretty good. It's better than I remember. It's well edited. Astonishingly edited, I think, for as much information that's in here and for what it tries to do.
That's a great award for it to win.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll get into the actual movie itself, but that's my general thought. Siobhan, your thoughts on JFK?
I had never seen this before. I started with the because it is what I had in my Oliver Stone collection box set. I watched the director's cut, which I believe is 3 hours and 25 minutes.
Like 17 more minutes than the theatrical cut?
17 more minutes of hard-hitting action. And I loved it. I was engrossed the entire time. Just very, very exciting paranoia, conspiracy shit. It's that added benefit of like being, all basically real.
Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into it.
No, it's all real.
We'll get into it. And, I got notes. Yeah,
cool ass fucking movie. I think.
Yeah. Well,
Kevin Costner. Oh my god. How do you carry a movie like that? Man, talk about carrying a movie, and you talk about making a movie good as well. John Williams, holy shit, that score is amazing. The movie does this amazing thing constantly, where like every time the movie does this is 90% of the movie's scenes, where the music goes da and oh, so get this, Chief, we discovered something else, and then you get like a 15-minute scene running down some new factual information, some new fact that they found, that they uncovered, and it's just all so exciting. Maybe in the same way that In All the President's Men is, but a lot more overblown than that film is,
and purposefully so. I think it's supposed to be very much in your face. And going back to that John Williams score, and I don't mean to derail you, but I have to point this out. I think that theme has been used in like trailers or maybe other movies, or at least like that. This particular thing stuck out for me. I'm like, oh, I've heard this for years after this movie. It's this. It goes, whatever that is. Yeah, it's like a stick on a block. So good job, John Williams, for that simple little thing that just underscores like 20 minutes of monologues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a really eye-opening film. I mean, I understand Kevin Costner's conviction. I mean,
the character,
to grow up in a world where we can't believe in democracy, I'd rather be gunned down in the street like a fucking dog. Marcelo.
Which I think is what he says at the end in his final monologue. It's like, I'd rather be gunned down in the street like a dog. Then he looks into the camera. It's up to you now.
It's you, the people.
But
I also love. I don't know. Yeah. This can't be in the theatrical cut. I imagine this is in the director's cut because it came later. But there's a little note at the end that says, that's Oliver Stone patting himself on the back, saying, "Because of this film, the U.S. Has agreed to put out more documents."
Yeah, that was an addition to the director's cuts, which is true. That's one of the true things that this movie says, is that, I think as of like 2017, they're still releasing these documents because of this movie, because of JFK.
Yeah, and that is pretty fucking dope.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do you believe the government for? They're putting out falsified documents.
They're also losing JFK's brain, which is real.
The good ones have been burned. There was brain, which was penetrated by a magic bullet. There are some crazy supporting performances. I mean, you mentioned it, like Tommy Lee Jones, Kevin Bacon in his like 2 or 3 scenes is just like the most faggy individual.
You can say that.
I can. And Joe Pesci.
Joe
Pesci is insane. So fucking insane. Best role of his career. Oh, yeah, and John Candy as well.
John Candy. Oh my god. John Candy.
Jive talking, cool daddy.
Sweaty with sunglasses.
Yeah. It's so good.
I mean, just and this is one of those.
One more person to mention. Sorry.
Go ahead.
We have not had an opportunity to talk about this man in a while since we stopped doing our Southland Tales podcast. But John Larroquette is in this film. And John Larroquette watch. John Larroquette is still with us.
Okay, thank God. Glad you did that, Siobhan. I was worried there. Just going through this cast, this is one of those big 6 Degrees of Separation movies where.
And you got Kevin Bacon right in there. So.
Kevin Bacon, I mean, according to Wikipedia, and you know how verified...
He's in the movie, yeah. According to Wikipedia.
According to Wikipedia, he's second billed underneath Kevin Costner. Which, okay, sure.
Hey, he makes a big impact in that one scene he has.
Yeah, but it's a lot of one scene great performances from like 20 like great character actors. I'll list off some of them, okay? Laurie Metcalf, Gary Oldman, Cece Spacek, Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, Ed Asner, Brian Doyle Murray, Wayne Knight,
yeah.
Vincent D'Onofrio for like 30 seconds, Yeah,
I missed him.
yeah, and Martin Sheen as the narrator.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And Kevin Costner plays Jim Garrison. Jim Garrison himself, because this is a real person who existed. He plays Earl Warren, the Supreme Court Justice.
Shit.
From the Warren Report, the Warren Commission. So he's in one scene saying, "Oh yeah, Jim Garrison's he's got no facts here." So funny enough, yeah, Jim Garrison himself is playing Warren. What is this movie?
Why would he say that about himself? Why would he agree to that role?
Did he not know that they're okay? The movie itself, it's wild. This was controversial from the start, from the making of it. I did some research, not a lot, because I didn't want to dig too deep, because there's a lot going on here. We could have spent the next 3 hours talking about JFK, honestly. But briefly, Oliver Stone, he got this book written by Jim Garrison at like a film festival in, I think, Cuba. And they're like, "Hey, Oliver Stone likes conspiracy theories. Give him this book and he'll make a movie of it." And he did. He made the actors sign NDAs and didn't outwardly say he was making a JFK movie. He called it like Project X as they were making it. But then, the trades got a hold of the scripts. There was a big controversy, of course. The movie was released. It got all the acclaim, Oscar nominations. I think it won the Golden Globe for Best Drama. So yeah, I mean, it was close to getting, I'm assuming, the Best Picture award. But then, Silence of the Lambs came in, swooped in, got the Oscar. But imagine if this got Best Picture. I mean, even so, it made an impact. Like, without having won Best Picture, it's still it made a huge impact on society, because it did really change the opinion of people and say, "Hey, something's fishy here." Like, everything that's said in this movie laid out, a scenario where, yes, the government was in on it, on the assassination of JFK. And there were like poll numbers that came out that said, because of this movie, more people thought there's something fishy going on. So that's where we are as a society.
It definitely feels as a way, like a super. I mean, all of the movie is dialogue and telling you things. That's like supposedly telling other characters, but they're really talking to you, the audience, trying to incept this into your mind. Yeah, it feels like a very educational film. It's just like extremely well made.
Yeah,
compellingly made.
I think, I'll say this about it. It does a fantastic job at what it's trying to do. Like, I was reading articles about fact checkers going through the movie, right? And at least 2 articles I pulled up said, yeah, like, a lot of people were fooled by it, including me, the author of this article. Like, and even me, Marcelo Pico, I was watching it and I go, oh yeah. It's like, the CIA did kill JFK. Or very specifically in the way that this movie, says, Lee Harvey Oswald was a patsy. There were like 2 other shooters at least, and all these details in the movie. Like, and I think this is why I think it's a great movie. It succeeds in putting out this information and enthralling you, and becoming engrossing, and saying, this is what it is, and you fall for it. And like you should with any movie, you accept it as truth as you watch it. But then when you step away from it, like I did this afternoon after watching the movie, I go, wait a second, I gotta look into this. And even after watching the movie, as I was watching the movie, I was like, oh yeah, like this makes sense. This is all, this is concrete here. I know Oliver Stone is basing this on fact. He has to be. Not really. I think Stone himself has said this is like a hyper fiction, or like I forget exactly what he said. Like he says it's a fictional myth. It's a counter myth to the Warren Commission's myth. So in his own way, he built his own sort of like defense, or not defense, contradiction to the Warren Commission, saying if they want to put out those lies, then I can put out my own sort of counter to that, and also make up some stuff, but also ingrain it in some reality. Because there are some things I think in the movie that make sense. Other things you can poke holes in. This is why it's fascinating, because my brain has just been dipped in conspiracy theory, and it's hard to get out. So that's where I am with JFK. I think this is a brilliant movie. I think this is a well-edited movie, sure, but oh boy, can you poke holes in this?
Yeah, anything specific?
Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Because I have notes here if you want to dig into it. So
3 shooters behind the fence. Why didn't he take the shot on the main way? Could he have made was the rifle really that shitty and inaccurate? Where was the shooter Lee Harvey? Was he seen in these places and in this time? And like, did the times add up? Blah blah blah. Zapruder film. How much did that prove?
Yeah, I have one excerpt here from.
Are the gays really behind it all?
There's an article from
a trio of messy gays. Did they really pull all this?
Well, I'll get into that. So there's an article from 2021 around the release of Oliver Stone's JFK Revisited, which I don't know if you know about, Siobhan, but he basically made a sequel documentary to JFK, Oliver Stone.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you'd seen it.
No, I have not seen it. Again, if we were going to make this 3 hours of JFK talk, I would have seen it. It'd be interesting to see. But when that was released, there were a lot of articles sort of going back to JFK, the movie, and saying, what truth is in that movie. And this article by Tom Forty for The Telegraph kind of goes into that, and I'll pull up what I looked up.
Did you check Tom Forty's credentials?
Well,
does he live at 1 Pennsylvania Avenue?
I think he is an expert. Hold on.
An expert at lying to the American public?
I don't have his credentials here, but this is what he says, okay? Jim Garrison, played by Kevin Costner, the real Garrison, claimed that Shaw, Ferry, and Oswald, the 3 gays, as you call them, Siobhan, had conspired to shoot Kennedy as part of, and he quotes, Garrison says this, homosexual thrill kill. Now, Jim Garrison, when he wrote the book detailing his case against Shaw, played by Tom Lee Jones, Shaw being supposedly one of the masterminds behind the JFK assassination. When he released the book in the 80s, at this point his reputation had diminished because he lost the case as seen in the movie. Shaw was acquitted. So he wrote this book sort of like saying, here's the case in full. But people still didn't buy it. They thought he was kind of a loon. And he was shopping it around to different publishers, and he finally got it published. And then finally, Oliver Stone got a hold of it, and he goes, "Yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about." So Garrison, not the sort of heroic, sort of patriot, moral eagle that this movie paints him out to be. Apparently, according to sources, he was kind of an asshole, which you kind of see in the movie. You kind of see him as an asshole.
Yeah, but they also portray him as kind of like the acceptable movie type of asshole, which is like he's in the pursuit of truth. He has let his family life crumble.
But, all that to say is that Garrison at this point was seen as kind of just a guy who was making things up, some of it anyway. So all that to say, yeah, again, this movie is based on the book written by Jim Garrison, and Jim Garrison's, truth, in quotes, you can poke holes in it like this. So there are a lot of theories. Here are the theories that JFK the movie puts out. Oswald was framed for murder for the policeman J.D. Tippit. There's a famous photograph of Oswald holding a rifle that was faked. Witnesses at the plaza heard 6 shots, not 3. There were suspicious men at the grassy knoll. Expert shooters couldn't replicate Oswald's 3 shots. So those were the points made in JFK the movie, right? But here are the counter arguments for that. 10 witnesses put Oswald on the seat of Tippett's murder. Oswald was actually a sharpshooter. One of the experts who tried to replicate Oswald's shots did replicate it and improved on Oswald's shots. One person at the plaza claimed to hear 6 shots. 136 people heard 3. So that one kind of stuck to me, where it said, sure, in the movie there's a lot made about one woman saying, I heard 6 shots, and somebody was saying, no, you heard 3. Apparently there were 136 people who did hear 3 shots, and that's not in the movie. So again, it's sort of like the things Stone and Garrison wanted to put forth, were like selective truths. Whereas, in the movie, a lot was made about how Oswald couldn't pull off those 3 shots in that time frame, and said in the movie, they said, there are these expert shooters who tried to replicate it and couldn't. Apparently, there was an expert shooter who did replicate it and who did improve on Oswald's shots too. It could have been done by one shooter. How do you feel about that as I look through the other notes, Siobhan?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't change too much, in my opinion.
I reading this, where it sort of like goes into the counter arguments to JFK the movie, this does not change my opinion of the movie. I think it's expertly made. Because, okay, I'll say this. I think there are some solid things in JFK where I've always thought, as I think a lot of people do, that, yeah, there's something going on with JFK in terms of who actually pulled the trigger. Shadowy forces, the government, the CIA. And it says here in the same article, just because Oswald was the only shooter doesn't mean there wasn't some small-scale conspiracy to put him up to it. I think this is mentioned in the movie. This article goes, I think there are legitimate concerns about influence. Like, who did Oswald meet in Mexico City weeks before the assassination? Nobody knows. And it says here, if we ever did know who he met in Mexico City before the assassination, we'd know more about this potential cover-up. So yeah, I think it asks big questions, JFK, and it might take liberties with some of the truth, but I think it needs to be said because there are a lot of things that we don't know.
That's in general something that's like telling you as point blank as this, like the government is bullshit. The government is worth not believing 100% of the time, and to use skepticism. At some of the information you're told, just at a macro level. Now, of course, that leads to people thinking they are smarter than they are.
Yeah.
And hating, thinking they don't need vaccines and stuff like that. But it doesn't have to mean that. That's not necessarily the way to go with it, I don't think. But, good movie.
It is.
Lessons to be learned.
I want to say that again. It is a good movie. We can talk more about the editing because that's what we're here to talk about.
To make a 3.5 hour movie constantly engaging, that is entirely just conversations between people and expositional conversations at that. That is a feat. That is a hell of a feat.
Yeah, and that montage at the beginning of the movie where like it leads up to JFK's assassination, and we see like newsreel footage, and Martin Sheen is narrating it. Like all of that it just gets into it, because it has that documentary feel. The whole film feels like a documentary, told narratively, but that opening really sets the mood. It's like, here's how fast paced is going to be. Here's how like reliant on real events this is going to be, and it does an expert job of like setting the scene. I love that montage.
It feels like it moves at a blistering pace. The film, which is great.
It's an amazingly edited movie. I'm glad we saw this for this show.
I'm glad you made me watch it.
I forced you at gunpoint,
It's your choice.
Yeah, I forced you to do it, like the CIA forced Lee Harvey Oswald to, be a patsy for the government.
We did this last time. What is, if you had to give this film any one other award, what would it have been?
Good question. Let me see. Let me go through my notes. Going back to what it was nominated for. Picture, directing, supporting actor, screenplay, score. Oh, score. I love that score by John Williams.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel conventionally like a John Williams score. Not to say his films are kind of the same, but he kind of uses the same sort of instruments, melodies. It kind of blends together when he works with Spielberg sometimes. Not in a bad way. I mean, he's one of the best ever. But here it's distinct, and it doesn't feel like a traditional John Williams score at times. I really dig it. I mentioned it before. The block, the stick on the block, that little noise. I don't know what that instrument is. I love that. It's like a little metronome. As we race through all these monologues, it's just a nice little undertow of making this more high paced, fast paced.
What
about you? Same question.
Kevin Spacey nominated?
Wait, was Kevin Spacey nominated?
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey?
Oh shit.
I mean, he won twice. He won for the Usual Suspects and American Beauty.
Was Kevin Costner nominated?
He was not nominated.
Wow, that's surprising. So, look, I was going to say score as well.
Yeah,
but since you said it, I want to say Kevin Spacey.
You want to say Kevin Spacey, but you.
God damn it!
But you should say Kevin Costner.
Yeah, and Kevin Costner, I'd say him. He was phenomenal. He remained compelling the entire time to watch and follow. His monologuing at the end of the film in the courthouse, basically recapping all of the information we have already learned at a real rapid fire pace. It is just so well delivered. So good.
I want to go back to what I said before. I'm looking through the Golden Globes nominations for this and wins. I said incorrectly that this won for Best Picture Drama. It was Oliver Stone who won for Best Director. Yeah. And Kevin Costner was nominated at the Golden Globes for Best Actor Drama. So he got a nomination at the Globes. But no nomination for JFK for Costner. I agree. He's very good in this. My theory is people watching this were like, oh, this is just another Kevin Costner movie where he's the lead and he's like the righteous hero, similar to like The Untouchables, which I think is great in that too. But there's nuance. We said earlier, like, one of my favorite scenes in the movie is where you see him be an asshole to his team, where Michael Rooker says, kind of like what some people should be saying. It's like, this is bullshit. You're insane. Like, you're saying some ridiculous things. You're saying LBJ killed JFK. You're saying the CIA's in on it. I'm out of here. And Kevin Costner's other team member, he's like, yeah, he's crazy. If you want him back, I'm out of here. And Costner goes, get out of here. Like, Costner, I think, plays with sort of being this. He becomes an obsessive, like, with his friends and his family about this subject. Yet he finds himself being the moral right, but at what cost? I think he plays that really well. Yeah,
he's got a real Atticus Finch quality to him.
Yeah. I'll quickly go through who were the Best Actor nominees this year at the Oscars. Of course, Hopkins won. Also nominated Warren Beatty and Bugsy, Robert De Niro in Cape Fear, Nick Nolte in Prince of Tides, and Robin Williams in The Fisher King.
Yeah, I'm sure he beats a few of those.
Yeah. But yeah, JFK, the movie. Any final thoughts? I have one final thought I want to bring up.
I just want to say we're talking about the best editing. It's other contenders in that that beat. Yeah. The Commitments, which I had not heard of. Silence of the Lambs, Terminator 2, Vengeance Day.
Or you say Vengeance Day, but you mean Judgment Day, right?
Vengeance Day was its original title. And Thelma and Louise. I go JFK all the way. I tried to watch Commitments before this, but it wasn't available anymore. I do want to see it, though. It sounds really cool. Like Irish rock band, punk thingy. So what's your other point there?
My favorite, I think, cut in the movie is like in the final monologue trial scene where Kevin Costner is just laying out the entire case of the magic bullet. You see, there's a close-up of him holding like the untouched bullet that apparently was the bullet that went through like 2 people in like 7 different ways, and it was like undamaged. And then there's a smash cut to him holding a bullet that was shot through an actual body, and it looked like, like you think a used bullet would look like. And that like shot of like a distinct, like, here's a normal bullet, here's the magic bullet, here's the real bullet. Like, it's quick, it's fast, but it gets to the point of what's happening in the scene. It's like, here is fiction, here's reality in one shot. I love that stuff. All right, that's JFK. Best film editing winner at the Oscars.
That is JFK. I'm sorry about this, but I'm a little curious about your Oliver Stone thoughts.
Oh, yeah, I can get into that. I'm going to pull up Oliver Stone's filmography. Because, to be honest, I'm kind of blanking on Stone.
So, I will say, the films that I have seen, we're going to go from the back to the front.
Back
Born on the 4th...
and to the front. Back
and
to the front.
Born on the 4th of July, I think is pretty good. JFK, I think is great. Natural Born Killers is one of my favorite movies ever. I saw World Trade Center in the movie theater as a child. And it's a passable movie, I guess, as is W. But I would not say there's anything remarkable about either, and I'm sure there's a lot to shit on both of them. Mm-hmm. And those are the films I've seen.
Yeah. So as for me, I've seen, I guess, a lot more.
I'm sure you have
Stone than I realized. So I like Platoon. I cannot recall a lot that happened in that movie, though. Not a memorable movie.
You can recall what happened after the movie when it went to the Oscars and won the Best Picture award.
Yeah, Platoon, Best Picture winner. Also, Best Director winner, Stone. So yeah, good movie, I guess. Wall Street, also same feeling. I'm like, I've seen it. I remember liking it. Can't recall anything about it. Have not seen Born on the 4th of July. That's a big blind spot for me. I've only seen some of the Doors. I don't remember liking it. Love JFK. I saw Natural Born Killers 20 years ago. Another one I cannot recall. I need to rewatch that movie.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I think you do.
I've seen Nixon semi-recently, I think, and I like a lot about that movie. It features Hopkins in a sweaty Nixon performance. I think he sells the sort of twisted, also like conspiracy-ridden, character of Nixon. I think it's a good performance. I like the movie. Nixon's good. Have not seen U-Turn. Have not seen Any Given Sunday. Have not seen Alexander. Have not seen World Trade Center. I like W. It's a weird fucking movie. I remember before the movie came out, Oliver Stone was like, "Oh, it's apolitical. it's me being unbiased and presenting to you George W. Bush as he is. That's like the biggest leftist movie. It paints George W. Bush rightfully as like a huge dummy. So I like it. Money Never Sleeps. More like I slept through that movie. No good.
No.
Never Seen Savages. Snowden. More like snoozed in. Yeah, no good. I've
seen a bit of that. It does suck.
Have not seen JFK Revisited. Have not seen a documentary he did called Nuclear Now. Which is a movie that argues that nuclear energy is the solution needed to fight climate change. Good for him.
Did you even know that existed? It came out last year.
Not till I just read it. Nope.
Okay. So that the one final piece of Oliver Stone talk. Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
I told you I busted out this big box set to watch JFK. I have the first half of the box set in here in the room with me. The other half is a later period. This is 1986 to 1991. I think the other one is 92 to 2000 something.
Right.
Early 2000. So Marcelo, we've got 6 other movies in here. You're gonna give me. I have not seen any. Oh wait, I've seen one of them. So we've got 5 other movies in here. You're gonna tell me which one to watch by next week.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
So I've seen Born on the 4th of July, and I have now seen JFK. So those are out. Should I watch Salvador, Platoon, Wall Street, Talk Radio, or The Doors?
Siobhan, we're doing an awards season podcast.
Yeah.
So I think
2 of these have awards. Don't 2 of these have awards? Doesn't Wall Street have an award too?
Wall Street does have an award. Wall Street has Best Actor.
Yeah, so you could be saying 2 things right now. Which one are you going with?
And also Salvador, as you know, quick search here, it was nominated for 2 Oscars.
Wow.
For Best Lead Actor, James Woods, and for Best Screenplay. By the way, Salvador stars James Woods, Jim Belushi, and a bunch of other people I don't know. So that'd be interesting to watch.
Both psychos in their own right, but good actors.
True psychopaths. Platoon, that's a Best Picture winner. It won for picture, director, sound, and film editing. Hey, you gotta go Platoon, buddy.
It won film editing. Oh, it's kismet.
It won film editing. So I mean, we could have talked about that for 40 minutes, but we chose not to. Okay, look, it won. Here's the full list: picture, director, editing, sound. It was nominated for supporting actor. What's his name?
Bergeron.
Bergeron.
Tom Bergeron.
It's not Tom Bergeron.
The host of Dancing with the Stars, former host.
Tom
Hollywood Squares.
Tom Bergeron is in Platoon. Did you not know that? Tom Berenger. Yes, sorry, I got lost there. Tom Berenger, William Dafoe, aforementioned. Also,
that was one of his supporting actor nominations, I believe. Yeah.
Robert Richardson was nominated for Best Cinematographer. He won for JFK. So, yeah, it's the simple pick, but watch Platoon.
Platoon. All right, I'll see it by next week.
All right, cool. And report back. You can give me homework, but will I watch it by next week? We'll find out next week.
Okay.
You have the option in this episode to give me one piece of homework. You don't have to give it to me now.
I'll consider it
by the end of the episode. Okay. So Siobhan's watching Platoon.
We already get homework on this show. I'm not going to do that to you.
Right. Thank you. All right. Next. I can't believe this.
Next order of business.
It's going to be another 2.5 hour episode.
This is the best editing awards episode, so we got to talk about it.
Our favorites.
It's the best editing of the year from us, from the 2 of us. what we think is the best edited films of the year.
Of the year.
2023.
Okay, so last episode we went back and forth. I think we should just list them and then talk about them. I'll list my 5, you list your 5. Okay? Just to cut things down. This is long. All right, just give me a break. All right, please. All right, this is tough for me. I'm gonna go first. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, never mind. I thought this was gonna be hard, but I have 5. I thought I had 6. I only have 5. I don't have honorable mentions. I don't have also rans. Just the 5. So here we go. My 5 best film editing picks for the year 2023. Number 5, and this kind of goes in no order except for number 1, really. Number 5, The Killer. I wrote down here, I lied about The Killer only getting 1 mention in my top 10 lists, or in my top lists for this season. I said that last episode.
You are a liar.
I'm a liar. I think The Killer is going to come back a few times.
Known liar, Marcelo Pico.
Yeah. So The Killer editing, fantastic. It's slick. It's Fincher. He knows how to cut a picture. Him and his editor, Kirk Baxter. Number 4, Blackberry. Wow. I love this goddamn movie. The more I think about it, I've only seen it once. I need to see it again. But thinking about the best editing of the year, I went through like my top list of like my favorite movies of the year, and I had to pick this because I feel like it is the best. It's one of my favorite comedies of the year, and I think it works because of the editing in the best way. This might seem like a slight, but in the best way, it feels like an episode of like The Office in the way it's shot. Like it's sort of like documentary style, and I think it exceeds because of the performances, but also because it's just so well written, and the editing, like going from the reactions to people, cutting into the dialogue, the editing really holds it up. So love the editing of Blackberry. I love Blackberry in general. So that's number 4. Number 3, Oppenheimer, of course. Jennifer Lame. As I was watching JFK, I had thoughts of Oppenheimer. I think once you watch Oppenheimer, Siobhan, you'll be like, oh, influenced by JFK, in how it like goes back and forward in time. Also, the black and white cutscenes, how fast paced it is for a 3-hour movie. I think Jennifer Lame does an incredible job with Oppenheimer. Number 2, of course, gotta mention her. Thelma Schoonmaker, Killers of the Flower Moon. Another 3-hour movie, like 3-hour and 20-minute movie. Yet it feels brisk. It doesn't feel too long because Thelma's doing what Thelma does. She makes a Scorsese movie, so gotta mention Killers of the Flower Moon. Finally, number 1, no surprise. Get used to this, folks. Magic Mike's Last Dance. Somebody named Mary Ann Bernard edited this. She does a great job.
Not a Soderbergh edited.
No, well,
interesting.
I'm kidding. Mary Ann Bernard is the pseudonym Soderbergh uses.
Shut the fuck up.
Mary Ann Bernard is Soderbergh's mom, so he uses his mom's pseudonym when he edits, and when he's the cinematographer, he uses his dad, Peter Andrews. So, anyway, Magic Mike's Last Dance. I talked about this last week when I talked about some Hayek. My favorite movie of the year, in particular, the final dance, the final like stage show, like all of that, beautiful, well shot, well edited, magnificent. Soderbergh, one of the best in the business. I had to put him at the top of my list because that's who I am. All right, so those are my picks for best film editing of the year.
Great list, Marcel.
Thank you.
My list, number 5, Asteroid City. Bouncy fun movie, well edited. Number 4, Saint Omer. I brought this up last week for Best Supporting Actress. for Guslagi. But yeah, the editing really enhances her performance. It knows there are long 20-minute, 15-minute, 10-minute court scenes throughout the film, and it manages to keep them engaging, and it knows exactly when to cut away and which person to focus on in the scenes. And the way the film opens with this beautiful shot of a woman walking on the beach with her baby, and you later learn how horrifying it is. The amount of time it lingers on that shot. I think it's just perfectly timed. Everything. The Killer is my number 3.
Hey.
I agree with everything Marcelo said. My number 1 and 2. I'm gonna mention them together.
Okay.
Number 2, The Outwaters.
Oh, okay.
And
wait, but before you say number 1, which I already know what it is, this is going to be my honorable mention if I think you're going to say what you think you're going to say. So go ahead.
Yeah, I am. Number 1 is Skinamarink.
Yeah.
So both of these films, very unconventional horror films, and to me, they both feel of a kind of, like maybe new sort of era of horror, moving past like what the last like 8 years have been, which is like a little bit more influenced by Jordan Peele. These are a lot more experimental and weird films. The Outwaters, I don't want to say too much because I know you haven't seen it yet, Marcelo, but like The Outwaters plays with what you can and can't see just brilliantly. It is a film that wants to disorient you, and it absolutely achieves that fact. And Skinamarink does the exact same thing, but they do it in 2 different ways. Outwaters is by fast cuts and not ever letting you really know what you're seeing. And then Skinamarink is a lot slower. Slower cuts, weird picture choices that are completely unsatisfying and bizarre and make you question everything. But both of them do achieve that in 2 different ways, and both are very, very, very successful at doing it. I cannot fathom how Skinamarink was filmed. Like you spent like 6 hours telling kids to kind of walk around in the dark, and then he spent the next day like just filming different sections of a house in the dark, and then just composing shot choices. Like that's how it feels the entire movie was made. And then The Outwaters is just have a guy run around in the desert for a couple hours, and we'll turn that into a thing. It's both terrifying, both completely unlike anything I'd ever seen before. Both come to the same type of conclusion, but in totally different ways, but both just as masterful.
Good picks, by the way, Siobhan, honestly, because I had that in mind. I had Skinamarink in my head before recording. I go, oh, I gotta write that down. I did not write it down. I forgot about it until you mentioned it. So yeah, that's my big honorable mention.
Okay.
Skinamarink. There's the decision to cut away from things when that movie does. I think it's brilliant. I think it's why the movie works. It unsettles you in what it shows you and what it doesn't show you, and the editing is a big reason why. It's so horrifying. And I should also say, screw all those people who hated it by the end, especially my screening, who were like laughing at it in the lobby at the end.
I have to imagine that was like every screening of the damn movie.
Yeah,
other than like a premiere.
Yeah, but whatever. I mean, we both got it.
Future screenings probably won't be that way. You know what I mean?
Let's hope so. We're 2 Skinamarink fans here on the podcast, so
yeah.
I maybe that'll get mentioned later in the series.
I was wondering, like I haven't thought too far ahead, but when I thought of both of those films for this, I'm like, is there any chance they'll show up anywhere else? I'm unsure.
I mean, looking at my top 10 list of the year, I'll say one of those movies is still in my top 10 list, and it's the one I've watched.
Okay.
It's Skinamarink.
Well, Marcelo, you wanted me to give you homework.
Oh, okay. Hey, Siobhan, this would be easy for me because I own The Outwaters on Blu-ray.
All right. Hey,
So
there we go.
I'll watch it. I'll watch The Outwaters. How about that?
Thank you.
Okay. Done and done. We have 2 more goddamn segments on the show. Let's get through them.
Okay.
The Discord.
Next? The Discord. You can join our lovely community on our Discord. You can go to talkfilmsociety.com/discord or reach out to us. We can get you a link. And I asked of the Discord in our awards specific talking channel, I asked, hey guys, what's up? Can you give me your 5 most favorite editings, movies of the year this year? And I got a few answers.
Hell
so let's
yeah.
go through them. Jay McMillan comes to us with his, humbly comes to us with his humble picks.
He comes to us.
He comes to us. All Dirt Road's Taste of Salt. Marcelo, you got anything?
It's on my radar. I know.
Oppenheimer.
Okay, keep going.
Killers of the Flower Moon. Poor Things. Marcella?
Poor Things was an option for me, but I chose not to list it.
Still, a Michael J. Fox movie.
I need to see that. It's on Apple TV Plus, I think.
So is it like about him, or is it directed by him?
It's a documentary about him.
A documentary about him.
His illness.
Yeah. I haven't heard much about him talking about that, so that'll be interesting to hear, finally. Noah Thompson presents to us, very humbly, Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, The Holdovers, Knock at the Cabin, which I appreciate. I do love that movie, but it didn't come up in my thoughts of when I thought of best editing. And Beau is Afraid. All right. Thank you, Noah.
Thank you, Noah. By the way, thank you, Jay. I didn't say that. I should mention Beau. I think I mentioned this previous. Beau is Afraid has dissolved. The memory of it has dissolved in my head. So I may need to rewatch it before the end of the year to give like a final assessment of it.
I think you said you were going to do that, or like you were thinking of doing that last week, but then it was like 3.5 hours long.
It is.
Decided not to do it.
It's a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
So it'll be, if I do it, it'll be, not anytime soon. It took me 3 days to watch JFK, for God's sakes.
Right. I got through 2 hours of that in one sitting, and then I came back to it later in the day.
Yeah.
Ben Miller comes to us very humbly to present Spider-Verse. Of course, I think he's referring to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. But thank you, Ben.
Be more clear next time, Discord users, or we will throw out your votes. And you are voting.
He also says Oppenheimer. Past Lives. Marcelo, you love that.
Good movie. Great movie.
Anatomy of a Fall. This motherfucker's seen it. Oh, you've seen that one. I was thinking of the other one. I was thinking of the
Zone of Interest.
German Zone of Interest, yeah.
Yeah.
John Wick Chapter 4, which was in my honorable mentions. But since you didn't get to say any, I didn't say any.
Oh, well, let's stop here and say, Siobhan, your honorable mentions.
I'll just talk about John Wick Chapter 4. It is another. It's not that differently edited than any of the previous films, but why fix what's not broken? It's It's perfectly edited action. Like every gunshot feels like it hits like a truck. Every time he gets hit by a truck, it feels like he gets hit like a truck. The overhead sequence with the fucking god damn, it's so well edited. I'm thinking of his run through Paris, and they keep cutting back to the radio DJ.
Yeah.
And her Yeah, the cutting in the Paris segment is really truly phenomenal stuff, and like how they have so many like long takes for action films, presented so beautifully.
And the cuts of the stairs sequence where he falls down the stairs, the endless stairs. I love that.
Yes, absolutely. Have to shout that out. Also, the colors super pop in this movie. Is that something to do with editing?
The colors
part of it, right?
Popping? No, you're thinking of cinematography.
Well, there's like coloration or whatever the fuck.
I guess that's...
Like, it doesn't nod.
I guess you're right. I guess that has something to do with editing. I just never think of it. I think of the cuts. But
I know.
I think you're right. Like, I think editing includes post, like the whatever visuals you put on top of the film.
Yeah.
Or
best
maybe,
editing.
Oh, sorry. Or maybe you put that in visual effects. I don't know. These are honest questions.
That's
I don't know.
Great question.
Yeah. By the way, thanks Ben Miller for the picks.
Thanks to Ben Miller, friend of the website. Sam shot first. He comes to us very humbly to present best editing. His choices: Oppenheimer, Across the Spider-Verse. Of course, I think he means Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, how hard is it to type out Spider-Man? Come on.
Yeah, I don't know what these people are fucking doing. TMNT, Mutant Mayhem. I believe he means Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
Mutant Mayhem.
Mutant Mayhem, yeah.
Yeah.
And then this next one has to be taken with a grain of salt. Sam shot first. His name's Sam Van Haren. He used to host a podcast about Keanu Reeves. It's called Keanu Believe It. Keanu Believe It, yeah. So he's very biased, and he does nominate for best editing John Wick Chapter 4.
I think
so. Yeah, just
tainting the ballot here.
Yeah, you really gotta just use your head, people. The Killer is his last pick, and he says certainly KOTFM. I think he means Killers of the Flower Moon. Yeah, we'll make it when I see it.
Or Knights.
But another vote for The Killer.
Or Knights of the Foam Man. I think that's what that means.
Knights of the Foam Man. Yes. Yeah. Joey.
By the way, thanks Sam for those picks. And
I was about to say Joey backs his picks up. Says excellent fucking picks, Sam.
Please no cursing in the Discord. Don't curse in there.
Anything is allowed, but please do not curse. Yeah. Aaron, my wrestle buddy. What is her profile picture now? She changed it to
a wrestler, I'm assuming.
Jey Uso. Okay. May, December. Saltburn. Passages. The Killer. Oppenheimer. Interesting choices. This is an interesting list. I want to talk about this one, Marcelo.
She gives some commentary here. As much as I think Saltburn is extremely vapid, I do have to give it props to its editing, which I agree. Saltburn is a favorite of mine. This is me talking. Marcelo says, Saltburn is a favorite of mine. I understand why it's not getting buzz or more acclaim than it is. I mean, Barry Keoghan got a Golden Globes nomination, but I think Rosamund Pike too got a nomination. I have a feeling that's where it'll end. But I think Saltburn works. It's a weird fucking movie, and I think the editing is pretty good in that. I didn't shout it out because I don't know, it didn't really stand out. But I'm glad Aaron picked it, so I'm with her on this.
Yeah, she says sometimes it veers into bore-hap territory, but I think it works for the story it's attempting to tell. Marcelo, can you tell me what that means? I'm not very well educated.
No, bore-hap. I'm going to Google that.
Bore-hap.
Boring happenstance, maybe?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Or maybe she misspelled Borat. Okay, so it says here, first question somebody asks under this says, did Freddie Mercury have children? Who did Freddie Mercury leave his money to? And then a link to Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, it is Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah. Well, we figured it out. I guess she means because famously,
Yeah,
Bohemian Rhapsody has abysmal editing. So in terms of like fast cuts,
and it won an award.
fuck that movie.
The big award. I agree with Aaron May December. Really good shot choices and stuff. And another vote for The Killer. Love to see that. And we are not done. I believe we have one more. Not the Who's Tommy. That's Thomas Marinara, host of Double Edge Double Bill. Nope. No, he's not the host of that anymore. Former host of Double Edge Double Bill. He is the host of Cinema to the Letter. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Cinema to the Leather is funny to me.
Tommy's choices for best editing: Asteroid City, Barbie, Past Lives, The Killer, Talk to Me. Thank you, Not the Who's Tommy. Thank you, Aaron. Marcelo, you've seen Talk to Me. I'm dying to see it, but I haven't seen it.
Talk to Me is a solid horror movie. I'm glad Thomas here shouted it out. For me, I don't love it as much as other people, but I appreciate the love for it. I think the editing is solid. I mean, I was going to say, I feel bad for not shouting out more horror, but hey, we spent a lot of time talking about Skinamarink, so there you go.
My top two were horror.
Yeah, so shut me up.
So shut the fuck up, asshole.
Yeah.
And now, Marcelo, this is a surprise to you.
Oh.
I went, huh?
I said,
I, on my own, went to another Discord I'm in where they have a films and TV channel. It is a comedy podcast Discord, so I didn't expect much. This is, I'm a friend of his show. His name's George. His screen name here is Edgar Allan Iverson, which is funny. His podcast, I'm going to shout that out. Best Little Horror House in Philly. Very good podcast. They get great guests. They also had me on. But they have like legitimate guests, like comedy people and stuff that are famous. And then they've had me. He says for editing, he's a Shin Kamen writer, Blackberry, Asteroid City, The Killer, another killer, and Creed 3. Honorable mention, Skinamarink. And then I also told them, I didn't do this last week, so I also said, hey, if you guys want to give me your best supporting actresses, please do so. He says his number one is Minami Hamabe in Godzilla -1 in Shin Kamen Rider.
Yeah. Cool.
And then Cara Jade Myers in Killers of the Flower Moon. Who's she?
I believe she plays one of the sisters to Lily Gladstone's character.
Tilda Swinton in Asteroid City.
Ah, yeah. I can get behind that. Yeah.
That was a switcheroo.
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh in Haunting in Venice.
Okay.
Which Marcelo and I talked about. Marcelo does not believe that she gave a good performance in that film.
We don't need to get into it. I think it's a solid movie, and to me, no performance really stood out. They're all doing their part.
It's fair enough. It's an ensemble, and yeah, I agree. Nobody really stands out.
Yeah.
Kate McKinnon is fun in Barbie. I guess she can make the nomination cut for me, but wouldn't win.
Sure.
So yeah, Kate McKinnon.
Fun pick.
Barbie,
yeah.
Whatever.
And
that wraps up the Discords. Thank you, everybody that did that. Once again, talkfilmsociety.com/Discord. Come in, do good talking about the news, film, wrestling, video games, TV, movies, kino, cinema, and the awards season. And you can chime in on your own. We'll read anybody's. So thank you. talkfilmsociety.com/Discord.
All right. Final segment of the show.
Let's go.
Let's do this. Siobhan, name 20 actors from the movie JFK. Go.
Okay, yeah. Kevin Costner.
1.
I didn't say Spacey. Gotta give me an extra point for that, I think. John Candy.
2.
Joe Pesci.
3.
Kevin Bacon.
4.
Michael Rooker.
5.
Tommy Lee Jones.
6.
Donald Sutherland.
7.
Ronald. What the fuck? Who's the character? I was going to say the real life guy since he's in the movie.
You could say that.
I know. I'm trying to think of his name.
Oh.
And then, God, a million faces I'm seeing, but can't name any of them. Oh, John Larroquette.
Yeah, that's 8.
8. God damn it. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Mary.
Mary.
Queen of Scots.
All right. You know what? This bit's over. Yeah, I mean,
it's fun though. It's really
fun. I had that. I was going to pull that trick on you, and you fell into my trap. I don't think I could do it. I'm not good on the spot. So, good effort. But this is the real segment. This is it. The final segment of the show, the Gold Derby game. All right.
Our most beloved segment.
The one
Marcelo comes to me. He says, "Hey, there's this Gold Derby website. It tracks various award pundits and experts and people who want to come in and give their opinions on what are going to win the big awards this season. They track it, and there's rankings and stuff that go up and down every week. And Marcelo likes to make me play this game where I have to guess who's in the running.
Yes.
For the category of the week.
So we'll do 1 through 5 for best film editing. Number 1 pick is what this site says is the number 1 pick to win the Oscar. But remember, we're in early to mid-December, so it's still ways off. But these are the predictions now on GoldDerby.com. So can you guess which 5 films are in the running?
My dude, this is hard as fuck.
I'm gonna give you a hint. I think number 1, Oppenheimer. You got it. Oppenheimer 1.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
You got number 2. Yes.
All right, I can knock those 2 out, and then
boom,
I'm
boom. You got 3, 4, and 5 left.
All right.
I was gonna give you a hint. We've talked. At least 2 of these were mentioned already. 1, I don't think we mentioned in terms of film editing.
Fuck, really?
But it is a huge movie. I guess that's a guess. I mean, that's a big hint.
Barbie?
Yeah, Barbie's number 5.
I
should not have given you that hint. That's not something I usually do. I wish I could take it back.
Well, if that was your hint, it was incorrect because Barbie wasn't mentioned by Tommy.
Oh, no, well, never mind then.
Okay.
Thanks, Thomas, for those picks, by the way.
So 3 of them have been mentioned for sure.
Well, and then these other 2 have been mentioned for sure. I just forgot that Barbie was mentioned before. That was the one I was saying.
So it's tough. I've got a few I want to say. Probably not Skinamarink for some reason.
Is Skinamarink even on this list? Give me a second.
That would be so funny.
Nope. John Wick Chapter 4 is number 71.
Wow. Well, it's got a chance.
It's on the list.
I'm gonna say I think one of these movies that I think is foreign is gonna be in the running, and it's gonna be the Cannes winner, Anatomy of a Fall.
Incorrect.
Okay, then it's a different foreign movie, Past Lives.
Incorrect.
The Killer.
Incorrect.
All right, well, that's my 5.
You know what? Guess 2 more.
Burn.
No. Guess 1 more time.
Asteroid City.
No. Okay, you've lost. But you get.
I didn't think Asteroid City was a stupid guess.
No.
The Holdovers.
Yeah, you finally got it. Holdovers. Number 4.
Finally got it. Way to go, dumbass. You finally got there.
I was going to say you got 3 out of 5 right away, so that's something to be proud of. Take a wild guess and try to think of the number 3, because that was 4. So Oppenheimer 1, Killers 2.
Honestly, when I first started thinking this category, the first movie that jumped to my mind was Spider-Man.
No, that is at number. I should be giving you where these fall, by the way. Spider-Man is not on this list, which is insane to me. Huh?
Is it a foreign film?
No, this final pick is not foreign. It's actually one that I talked about at length, like for maybe too long. And then we talked about it. We talked about the director for another long time.
The director, okay, Oliver Stone.
Oh, no, just think that before that, this year.
The Holdovers is the Alexander Payne one, right?
Right, but yeah, that's on here. It's 4, but we were thinking number 3, and
but yeah, I was thinking a director we've talked a lot about, and so
on this episode,
is that Alexander Payne? Okay, on this episode, we've talked about a director a lot,
and this was 2 hours ago, by the way.
2 hours ago. Okay, that's a good hint because where'd we start out? We started out in the news. We started out with Golden Globes.
Yeah, this is our new segment. We just recap the
May
episode.
December.
No, not May December. You're so close though.
How am I close?
Because what's the movie we talked about right after that?
Right after May December. Well, that was my one pick of the week. So Marcelo's movie of the week that he saw was. Oh, yeah. Oh, Poor Things.
Poor Things. You got it. Look at that.
Edited by not Yorgos Lanthimos.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. I got them all in 5 picks, too.
Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Poor Things, The Holdovers, Barbie. Those are the top 5. I'm going to read through the top 10. So 6, Maestro. 7, Anatomy of a Fall. 8, Ferrari. 9, American Fiction. 10, our boy, The Killer.
Okay.
Well,
so
that was it. Again,
that's it.
These episodes end sort of anticlimactically. That's a word.
But they will end with a fucking bang if I ever get 5 out of 5 one time. I mean, shit.
Again, this is a learning tool for you, for me, for the audience, for the listeners. I want you to, once we get to the Best Picture Gold Derby game, I want you to get all 10 off the bat. Just list them. Okay?
Bang, 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 bang.
You know what? I'm going to extend this episode just another few minutes. I'm going to go straight to the Oscar list.
No, you're not.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
going to do this. You are not going to do this.
We're going to do.
Are you going to go there just to check if Skinamarink anywhere?
That'd be fun to do. Is Skinamarink in the Gold Derby list of best pictures anywhere? Scrolling through. No. The Beanie Bubble is at 81. But Skinamarink could not place. Let's talk about the best picture race real quick. Okay, I'm just going to read them to you.
Oppenheimer, Barbie.
Yeah, okay. Oppenheimer, Barbie, you got those.
Holdovers.
Yes. Again, this is Gold Derby.
Jesus, man. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yes, Killers. Think of the one movie that you were having a hard time remembering.
Poor Things.
Poor Things. That's a top 5 right there. You got the top 5 right away.
Air.
No, Air's 13.
All of Us Strangers.
That's 16.
Fucking Christ.
I know. Right?
I'm in Asteroid City. You told me it doesn't have anything, right?
Asteroid City is 26.
Yeah, that's weird. And then my last one I'm going to say is Spider-Man.
That's 14.
Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah, you got it. Number 9. See? This is easy.
Great.
Okay, number 6, I'll tell you. Number 6, Maestro. Number 7, American Fiction. Number 8, Past Lives. Number 9, Anatomy of a Fall. And number 10, The Color Purple.
Oh, The Color Purple. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah.
Look, folks, we're recording this in early December. We're not insiders. We don't get press screenings and shit, except for Marcelo sometimes.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the Ferraris. We haven't seen the Color Purples. I've seen
Ferrari, by the way.
Marcelo's seen Ferrari.
Yeah.
We haven't seen.
Well, hey, yeah. I haven't seen Color Purple.
Claw, except for Marcelo.
I saw Iron Claw.
We haven't seen.
I've seen American Fiction.
American Fiction. We haven't seen that George Clooney boat movie, Rebel Moon. We haven't seen that.
In all honesty, you know what? I'm willing to bet Rebel Moon is going to place in your top 10 of the year.
That's a good bet.
Yeah.
That's a good bet. I'm gonna guess it comes up in at least one other category that has yet to happen.
Yeah. All right, that's it.
All right, thanks, guys.
I don't know what else to say. Dude, thanks for listening.
That was the Oscars for the week. Thank you for editing with us.
Hey, send us your best film editing picks on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on Instagram. Are there any other social media networks?
TalkFilmSociety.com/Discord.
Go to Discord, pop in. It's never too late to just pop in the awards channel and just drop your picks. Never too late. TalkFilmSociety.com/Discord. And also, hey, I got to mention this. If you've gone this far and you enjoy this show and you want this feed by itself away from the main feed, then subscribe over at TalkFilmSociety.com/TFSPod. TFSPOD. And you'll get a link to the iTunes link, the Spotify link, the RSS feed. And you'll use that in your podcatcher and listen to just these episodes with me and Siobhan and the Oscars for the season. And I'm going to add more more episodes to this feed of older shows that me and Siobhan have done. I think they're on there already. If you go to the main feed here, you'll be able to listen back to the summer series we did and last year's Oscar season. All of that is on this feed. And then eventually I'll add the rest of the old Talk Film Society flagship episodes that I've been doing for almost 10 years now. So that'll be on that feed. All right, that's it. Just want to shout that out. Siobhan, any last words?
Nope.
As for me, hey, I see you at the movies. No, I never say that. All right, bye.